Zach Life, beat depression. It's day 763, and we're back in the place to be with another somatic healing session to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here now. Anyone who's tuning in later, appreciate you guys and girls out there. And as you know, it's a martial arts for mental health show, and we start every single one with that powerful mental health tool of gratitude. Gratitude today going out to the first ones in. Jay, XOJ, appreciate you out here, brother. Let me know next time you want to link up for some jiu-jitsu training, get some rolling in there. We got to find a new spot because got kicked out of Gunnelova. But keep in touch, man. Also, shout out to Brett, a.k.a. Soul, for staying consistent, for putting in the work, for being here, supporting others, and showing up for himself at the same time. Thank you. You are part of my gratitude section today. I also want to mention, again, gratitude going out to the Grace Exhibition Space, to Renit, Levin, Delgado, and to everybody out there supporting the cause yesterday in New York City. That was a big moment. It was really cool. Got to meet a lot of new people and make a lot of progress. And it's just, it was just good times all around. Good vibes, good energy. And it was great to have people supporting each other, even if they don't know each other. So thank you. You are all part of my gratitude section today. Everybody who came out to the performance. And if you missed it, we'll try and organize more events as COVID restrictions ease up and things change, that climate changes. Trying to organize some more public events out there in New York City. In the meantime, we'll be doing training around Kearny, New Jersey, North Arlington area for free. We'll be doing pad work sessions in the park and somatic healing sessions in the park as well. So non-contact training can still happen in the Gunnelova if you're in the Kearny, New Jersey area. So shout out. And yes, indeed, just checking in on the comments, Jay said, you got kicked out of the Gunnelova? Yes, indeed. Yep, apparently there's no boxing allowed in the Gunnelova. So someone must have ruined it at some point. That's what happens. But it's fine. We'll find a way to adapt. We'll roll with those punches, and we'll keep going forwards. Shout out to Lisa the Luminary for tuning in, for being here, for supporting the cause. Thank you for tuning in the other day as well. That's my gratitude section for today. Go ahead and think about the thing you're grateful for. Shout out to This Kid Is Lucky, Billy the Savage out there. The next positive mental health tool we're going to talk about is the progress tracking one, making sure you keep track of the number of days that you show up for yourself. Today is 763 days of consecutive progress for me, the Sack Man. Let me know how many days it's been for you. The more we keep track of that number, the more powerful that number can be in our lives, building self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-validation, which is something that no one and nothing, including depression, can ever take away from us because we're the ones who give it to ourselves. So, that being said, we talked about the list, we talked about the gratitude tool. Let's get into today's lesson. We're going to be working from Muay Thai stance again, as has become pretty usual for us. And we'll be tossing those fundamentals, the jab and cross. We're also going to work in some uppercuts today. So the uppercuts we're going to practice are good. If you're shadow boxing, you can practice proper uppercut technique. It's great. If you have a heavy bag, though, uppercuts are not going to be ideal for that standard long-shaped heavy bag. You want to get yourself a round bag or teardrop shape or pill-shaped bag, one of those ones that hangs sort of high up, close to head level, so that you can really scoop under there and make good contact with those knuckles. If you do it on that normal long-shaped bag, you'll also often wind up skinning those knuckles or bloodying those knuckles, and it's just not the ideal simulation. Bob is a great place to practice uppercuts as well, boom, especially technical uppercuts, because you can work on finding those right angles and sending those knuckles up right into the chin. So Bob's a great tool to practice technical uppercuts on. But if you don't have a Bob, you can always use it with shadow boxing. You need nothing but the space in front of you to make progress every single day. So that's what we're going to do. We'll mix in fundamentals, jabs and cross. We'll toss in some uppercuts in there to mix it up a little bit. And we'll also check some kicks. Since we are in Muay Thai style, we want to stay on guard against those kicks. We'll mix it up into our standard 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, 1 minute breaks in between to catch your breath and drink some water. Remember to stay balanced in your balanced stance the whole time. Balance is super important. When we focus on balance and we focus on technique, the speed and the power will come as a side effect of getting that balance down and getting that proper technique in there. You'll notice it'll become effortless, less and less effort required to execute those moves, and the moves will become easier and easier and more powerful as you go. So again, consistency is all we need. Consistency and dedication. Show up for yourself. Keep putting in that work. Keep track of it with the progress tool so you can give yourself accurate credit, and you'll get those results. You can guarantee them for yourself. That's enough chat. Make sure that you have water for yourself. You're staying hydrated, super important. And make sure you're tuning in to you today, how you're feeling today, and giving yourself a challenge that will meet you where you're at. Something that's still a challenge, right? We're not going to take it too easy, fall into boredom. We don't want to push too hard and wind up in anxiety. We want to just give ourselves a challenge that we can crush, we can accomplish today. So things you can moderate is the speed of those punches, the power behind those punches, and the volume of those punches. Those are all things that you can use to make this class your own, make it your own training routine out there. That's enough of that. Remember to visualize the opponent, visualize the depression dummy. It could look like Bob if you'd like. It could be a man, a woman, whatever you'd like to punch. But assign it the name of that thing you want to work on. If it's anxiety or depression, make it that depression dummy. Make it that anxiety dummy. That way we can knock those lies out.
Bluetooth pairing.
That volume still for the crowd space there. I'm tuning that down a bit. We get some fighting spirit coming out of the sweet retro synth 80s boombox. And we're going to move right in. There it is. Let's switch it up today. Let's get a little strange. Alright, I think that's the one. Nope, that's not it. This is the one. Bang, stranger beat. There it is. If you like the beat, you like punching to it, feel free to stream it for free on Spotify. Simply search artist sacklifeofficial.com. And that way the music can raise awareness to those mental health tools as well. Alright, here we go. Pop into stance. Visualize that target in front of you. Visualize that opponent. And we're going to pop into our Muay Thai stance. Guard high by the brow line. Close the fingers. Tuck the thumbs. And we're getting this thing going. Square up with that opponent. We're going to start by stepping in to that number one punch. Remember, small step on the front foot, twisting through shoulders and hips. Rotate right on through to the number two and back to stance. Keep the guard high. Keep the weight shifting from the front foot to the back foot. You can get closer and further away from that visualized target as you maintain your flow. Keeping that chin tucked. Step in for the 1-2. Turn those fists over and exhale on those strikes. Exhaling out the mouth with force and making sure that we return to that defensive position. Chin tucked, shoulders rolled, hips curled, knees bent. Keep it nice and balanced there. Let's go. Step in for the 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. Now you can mix it up. Bring that intensity level up with more shots. 1, 2, 3. Straight down that center line. 1, 2, 3. Or you can increase the speed on those shots. 1, 2. 1, 2. Toss them out there at your pace. Give yourself that challenge, but keep it moving. Let's go. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to start working those uppercuts. Starting with the rear uppercut, we're going to give it a little bit of preload. So we're going to turn in, preload that rear shoulder, keeping the guard centered. We're going to take that fist, ball it up. We're going to bring the elbow down to the hip, angle that fist upwards so that the palm is facing up towards us, and then we're going to drive through that hip, just like you rotate through the hip for the cross. Same exact thing for the uppercut. So step in for the 1, rotate for the 2, back to stance. Now we're going to start with an uppercut from that rear hand. We're going to cover up in the front, preloading that fist, drop it, palm facing up, twist on the ball, that rear foot, whoosh, and send that uppercut right up the center line. We want to get the elbow into that center line so that the fist comes straight up into the chin of that opponent, and then back to stance. Step in and hit him with an uppercut. Let's go. Whoosh, boom, back to stance. Exhale through it, keeping the guard high the entire time. Little bit of preload. Whoosh. Exhale as you drive that uppercut up that center line. Back to stance. Hit him with the 1-2. 1-2. Back to stance. Hit him with the 1. And now we're already preloaded, so we're going to drop that rear hand and fire that uppercut. Whoosh! Bang! That uppercut's going to be our number 2. Step in for the 1. Bang! 1, 2. The second shot this time is going to be, boom, that rear uppercut. Keep that head centered on the center line. Step in. Meet the target with the knuckles. Right? We pivoted. We put that step forwards. Rear hand's loaded. Drop it down. Angle it in. Point that palm up towards us and then twist through the waist. Boom, firing through the waist. Bang. Right up through that center line into the face of that target. Back to stance. 1, 2, standard. 1, 2, back to stance. 1, 2, back to stance. 1 uppercut. Back. 1, 2, 1 uppercut. And that is the end of round 1. Catch your breath, drink some water. Check in on you. We're going to get into those opposite alternating uppercuts in just a moment. And remember to continue to check in. Make sure you're not dizzy, lightheaded, nauseous. Those are all signs of overreaching, and they can lead to more stress or more anxiety. So you want to dial that intensity back if you're feeling those effects, and make sure you're showing up at your level. Staying hydrated. Shout out to Bro Loney, Mike the Executioner out there. Zach Life, eat a bunch of dumplings, yeah. Later tonight, let's do it. I got 28 seconds. Stay hydrated out there. Make sure you're checking in on you and pushing to your level. We're going to get into some more uppercuts in the next round. We'll be adding them in, making them a little more uppercut heavy throughout the session. We'll alternate uppercuts. We'll see where they work in. And by the end, we'll toss some kick checks in there and some counter uppercuts at the end of round 3. Back in the stance for round 2. Guard high by the brow line. Remember, close the fingers, tuck the thumbs inside, behind those top 2 fingers, but outside of the fingers, not inside of the fingers. Very, very big difference there in proper punching. Close the fingers, tuck the thumbs, squeeze at the point of impact, and you want to make contact with those large 2 knuckles. Turning the fists over as you toss those shots straight down the center line. Remember, we're twisting our bodies. We're keeping our head on that center line, chin tucked and focused. We're watching our target and visualizing. Bam, bam, making contact. Let's go. 1, 2. 1, 2. We're going to add in the uppercut now. 1. You drop that fist down. Rotate through. Boom. 2. Back to stance. Same rotation as the cross, right? 1, 2 for the cross. 1, 2 for the uppercut. Notice the hips and the ball of that rear foot and the shoulder, they're all doing the same thing that they do for the cross. 1, 2 for the cross. 1, 2 for the uppercut. Same motion in the body. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. Back to stance. Guard high. We're going to start to check some kicks in Muay Thai. Bring that knee up to the inside of the elbow and then back down. We're angling in the direction of that incoming kick, and we're trying to block their shin with the largest part of our shin. Guard high, chin tuck, maintain balance, check some kicks, check, check, step in for the 1, 2, boom. Step in for the 1, and then uppercut, bang. Back to stance. Now we're going to work the lead uppercut. For that, we're going to want to cover up with that trail arm, right, and preload that lead arm again. Preload that lead, drop the fist down, pointing the palm up, drive it right up that center line, and back to stance. This is lead uppercut. Step in and cover up, drop that fist down, drive it up that center line. Now notice the step in that we normally do for the jab to add power to the jab. We're using it here on the cover up. So small step as we cover up, boom. We're slipping that lead punch. We're keeping our guard high and defended. And then we're going to drive through, whoosh, drive through the hip and launch that lead uppercut. Nice power uppercut there. Step in for 1, 2. Check some kicks. Check, check. Back to stance. Step in for the lead uppercut. We're going to cover, drop the fist, and drive that uppercut up. Back to stance. Check those kicks. Check, check. 1, 2. Check, check. 1, 2. Check, check. 1, 2. Now lead, jab, boom, right into uppercut. Bang, rear uppercut, back to stance. Lead, jab, rear uppercut. Whoosh, back to stance. Guard high, jab, uppercut, boom, boom. Now we're going for the lead uppercut. So step in and cover, toss that lead uppercut in there, right there. Back to stance, chin tuck, visualize that opponent. Hit him with the 1, 2. Hit him with the uppercut, rear uppercut, whoosh. Lead uppercut, whoosh. Rear uppercut, whoosh. And that is the end of round 2. Catch your breath, drink some water, check in on you. We're going to start to make those uppercuts a little faster. We'll talk about throwing them from a neutral stance without the cover up. More of a risky business there. We won't have the defense working for us, but we'll be able to launch a faster attack. And the goal of this training program is to equip you with tools for somatic healing and also for hitting a heavy bag or hitting bob, not necessarily for competition or self-defense. Because when we drop that fist for the uppercut, that's a huge tell. We're telling our opponent what we're about to do. So ideally, in a competition situation, you want to turn through the body, go through all those motions, but drop that fist at the last second just to get that angle and pop them right in the chin. Alright, we got 8 seconds left in this final session. We're going to start by drilling some uppercuts together, just from a neutral stance. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to toss them right up that center line. So square up with that visualized opponent, guard high, and we're going to start twisting through the body. Twist through the hips for the lead uppercut, boom, and toss it up there. Remember, lock the elbow at 90, keep that wrist nice and straight, fist tight, and we're going to toss, boom, toss it up that center line. bringing the elbow into the center line. Boom. So we can come right up in between their guard and cap them right in the chin. Back to stance. Rear uppercut. We're going to twist through, dropping that elbow down 90 degrees and bring it up. Bang. Into that chin again. Let's alternate uppercuts. Lead, back, rear. Lead, rear. Back to stance. Lead, rear. No step in here, but we're still twisting through the body. We're twisting through the hips. We're twisting through the shoulders. For the lead uppercut, we're twisting on that lead foot. Rear uppercut, we twist on the rear foot. And we want to send, remember, send them up that center line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Back to stance. Guard high, hit them with the 1, 2. Check some kicks. Check. Check. Back to stance. 1 uppercut. 1 uppercut. Now lead uppercut. Cover up. Lead uppercut. Back to stance. Hit him with the 1, 2. 1, 2. Down that center line. 1 and then trail uppercut. Bang. There it is. Check some kicks. Check. Check. Back to stance. 1, 2. Lead uppercut. Cover up. Uppercut. Back to stance. Rear uppercut. Cover up. Uppercut. Now let's drill a couple quick ones right down that center line. No step in. Just send those fists up that center line. Dropping them. Locking the elbow in at 90. Bringing that elbow into the center line. We're still pivoting on the ball of each foot. We're turning through the hips and waist. We're keeping that chin tucked and that head on the center line. Wuss, 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 wuss. And we're visualizing that opponent, making contact with the chin of that opponent. With each strike, back to stance. Check those kicks. Check. Check. Step in for the 1, 2. Now it's going to be a 1 uppercut. 1 uppercut. Lead uppercut. Bang. Rear uppercut. Bang. 1 uppercut. 1 uppercut. Back to stance. Double uppercut this time. Wuss, wuss. And back to stance. Check those kicks. Check. Check. Guard high. Step in for the 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2 again. 1, 2. Turn those fists over. Land on the large knuckles. 1, 2. Fight for you. Let's go. 1, 2. Back to stance. Square it up and hit him with the 1, then uppercut. 1 uppercut. Back to stance. Step in for that 1. Make contact. Roll through for the uppercut. Back to stance. 1, 2. Boom. 1, 2. Boom. Lead uppercut. Wuss. Rear uppercut. Wuss. Back to stance. 1, 2. Bam, bam. 1, 2. Bam, bam. Check those kicks. Check. Check. Rear uppercut. Wuss. And that's the end of round 3. Shout out to Slayer Ken. Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate you. And he said he'll tune in on YouTube and catch the lesson all the way through. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for showing up for you regularly. And even if you don't make it on time, still making your own time. Showing up for you on your own time so that you can get that progress in. We will have this episode uploaded to YouTube in the next 10 minutes. As soon as this thing ends, you gotta download it and then upload it right onto the YouTube page at Zach Life Daily if anyone else wants to catch that lesson at your own discretion. And thank you for sharing your progress, Ken, at 371 days, inspiring other people to make progress out there as well. It's one of the best things we can do for each other. And I hope that you guys are having a good time and finding tools that you can sharpen and ways that you can make that progress in your life. And make it consistency. Make it consistently. Make it a regular thing. Keep track of it so that it can build up and affect those other areas in life. Until next time, I'll catch you guys same exact time, same exact channel, same exact life. Zach Man out.